Alrighty, I am so excited to have some of you here again. For those of you joining us, thank you for coming. Make sure you have your pen and your notepad ready because we will be giving a lot of information. And for those who are joining us for the first time, we say thank you for wanting to share your evening with us. Today, we'll be talking about how you can save your first $1,000, and we're going to show you some of the action steps towards financial security and some of the action steps you need to take to actually save that $1,000. Last week, we talked about the importance of budgeting, and we talked about different budgeting rules, such as the 50-30-20 rule, the 70-20-10 rule, and the zero-based budgeting rule. So a quick recap about the 50-30-20 rule is that when you get your paycheck, you have to use percentage to allocate your money. So 50% will go for your need. These are things that are necessity, like your rent, like grocery shopping, like car notes. These are your need. You need to allocate the maximum of 50% to that. And then for your want, or as some people would say, it's your guilt-free money, your spend money, you can allocate 30% of that to your want. This is eating out, this is buying gifts for friends, this is date night. So 30% will go there. And then 20% will go for saving, investing, or paying off debt. Now you have to adjust based on the situation you are in. If you have lots of debt, then 20% will go into paying off debt. If you have zero debt, then 20% should go into saving and investing. And then the other budgeting rule is a 70-20-10. Now, 70% should be the maximum amount of money you allocate to your wants and your needs. And then 20% should go to saving, and then 10% should go to investing. Again, you have to adjust this percentage based on your situation. If you have a lot of debt, then 20% should go into debt and then 10% should go into saving. However, if you have zero debt, 20% should go into saving and 10% should go into investing. And then finally, we have the zero-based budgeting. I personally love the zero-based budgeting. The zero-based budgeting simply means that every money has a message. The total amount coming in is the total amount going out. You have specific purpose for each dollar coming into your account. And at the end of the balance sheet, you're going to be left with zero. You can decide to stick with one, or you can have a mix of the different budgeting rule. You can have a mix of the 50-30-20 and the zero base, or you can have a mix of the 70-20-10 and the zero base. And you can adjust this percentage as life progresses. We also talk about how to use a budget that works based on your situation and adjust accordingly, and the different resources to help with your budgeting. Now, what is the content for today? Today, we will be talking about saving. We're going to talk about the importance of saving. We're going to talk about practical ways to cut expenses and boost savings. We're going to talk about some of the side hustles that you can engage in, and then we will give you action steps on how to actually save more. And don't forget, we will be giving out resources and tools that will actually help you achieve your goal. We have three objectives for today. The number one objective, we're going to talk about the importance of saving. Number two, we're going to talk about how to learn to increase your savings. We're going to teach you how to increase your savings. And then finally, we're going to show you where to save your money. These are the things we are going to cover today. And then sometimes when you have a lot of credit card debt, when you have a lot of debt, they may actually prevent you from saving, because all the money coming in, you're like, okay, I have so much debt, I don't have time to save, I just want to pay off my debt. We're going to teach you practical steps to actually save even though you have debts. Now, is saving money important? Why is saving important? What's the whole ideology of saving? Why should I save money and not spend my money on trips? Why should I save money and not give the money to other people, to family members who need it? Why should I save money when I can use the money to help other people? Why is saving money important. There is something we need to understand that more than 70% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, which simply means they're just one paycheck away from being homeless. They're one paycheck away from not having money to buy gas in your car. They're one paycheck away from not able to pay debt or pay student loan. They're one paycheck away from not having money to feed. More than 70% of Americans are living in this situation. And also, more than 40% of Americans do not have up to $1,000 saved for emergencies, and about 27% have no savings at all, which simply means that if there is an emergency that costs over $1,000, not a lot of people can cover that. And I understand some persons will say, but I've got credit card. I have multiple credit cards. If I have an emergency, I can use the credit card. Now, there's something you need to understand, that the credit card is not free money. The credit card is not your money. The credit card company are actually out there to make money from you. So that is not your money. So we understand that the credit card is easily accessible, but we are more concerned about you saving your own cash. And then about 37% of Americans cannot afford an unexpected expense over $400. Like I said before, we're not talking about you using a credit card to pay for this stuff. We're asking about you using your actual liquid cash to pay for these expenses. And year after year, we realize that people are having more debt. People have more things to pay for, and they don't have the money saved. And some other persons is because of their spending habits. Instead of saving this money, you're spending this money on things that may or may not be necessary. Remember, the credit card money is not your money. So you need to understand these dynamics. You need to understand what's going on. Now, why do I need to save? What's an emergency fund, and why do I need an emergency fund? Now, the reason why we want you to save money is just in case of an emergency. Then what are these emergencies? Number one, job loss. If you're living paycheck to paycheck and you have nothing saved somewhere and you lose your job, what's going to happen to you? I have a friend who recently lost her job. In her previous job, she was making six figures, and then she lost her job. For 5 months, there was no money coming in. 5 months she was unemployed. 5 months she was searching for a new job and she couldn't get it. And I called her one time and I asked, how are you staying afloat? What's going on? What's your secret? And then she told me it's her emergency funds that's actually helping her. She had 6 months of emergency funds set aside, and that was helping her. We do not know what's going to happen tomorrow. So you need to save for the rainy day. Another reason why you need to save is medical emergencies. Like I said, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. In case of medical emergencies, what's going to happen? And I know some persons will say, but we have insurance. Well, I don't know if you've been to the hospital lately. The insurance does not cover everything. And sometimes for some people who are actually having a very critical medical condition, and then you have to call the ambulance to take you to the emergency room. If you're in the United States, you know riding in an ambulance is not free. It is not free. That's luxury. You pay a lot of money to sit in that ambulance, so it's not free. If you don't have the money set aside, what will you do when these emergencies arise? You may be driving your car to work one day, and that's the time your check engine light is going to pop up its ugly head and tell you, oh, there's something wrong with your car. What are you going to do when your car has an issue and you have to fix your car? That's where the emergency funds come in. Now, if you own a home and something is wrong with your home, there is a repair in your home, you're going to fix it. Now, if you have an apartment, you can easily just call the apartment managers and they'll come fix the stuff for you. But if you own your home, you have to fix it yourself. It's either you do it yourself or you're going to hire somebody to come fix it. And when those persons fix it, you're going to pay the contractor. If you don't have money set aside for these emergencies, how are you going to survive when life happens to you? And then finally, when you have an emergency fund set aside, you have peace of mind. You know, even if I lose my job today, I will be fine. If I have a medical emergency today, I will be fine. If my car breaks down in the middle of I-95, I will be fine. Why? Because you have your 3 to 6 months emergency fund set aside. We want you to be in that state of mind. We want you to have peace of mind. We want you to be relaxed. And one of the ways to get to that state is to actually build up your emergency funds. Because if you do not do that, when life happens, you will be stranded and you may lose your job, you may lose your house, you may lose a lot of stuff if you don't have the emergency funds. Now, some persons will ask, why do I have to save $1,000? Why is $1,000 the magical number? Now, the reason is because $1,000 is the lowest hanging fruit. If we say have the goal to save $10,000 or have the goal to save $5,000, some people say that is a lot of money. Where do you want me to see $10,000 to save? Where do you want me to see $5,000 to save? I have kids. I have a partner. I have a sick mom. I have expenses. I have student loan. I have the mortgage. I have so much debt. I don't have the resources to save $5,000 or $10,000. However, if the goal is $1,000, it is much more easier for you to save $1,000. When we say save $1,000, we are not telling you to save $1,000 by the end of the week. No, no, no. We are not telling you to save $1,000 by the end of the month. No, that is not what we're saying. We are saying have $1,000 as the goal. For some, it would take them 2 weeks to save $1,000. For some, it would take them a month to save $1,000. For some, it would take them 3 months to save $1,000. Others, 6 months. For some, 12 months to save $1,000. So it doesn't matter how long it takes you to save $1,000. We want you to have the goal. I will save $1,000. That is the goal. We will teach you how to get to that goal. And for those who say it is impossible to save $1,000, if you say you can or you say you can't, you're both right. You just need to change your mindset. You just need to change the way you think. And it's possible. It may take time, but it is not impossible. Saving $1,000 creates some financial room. It covers basic emergencies. We know some life major emergencies will not exceed $1,000. If your car breaks down, to have oil change will not exceed $1,000. We know that $1,000 is easy and it will cover major expenses. That is why we're telling you to save $1,000. It will reduce your reliance on credit card and loan. We want you to get out of consumer debt. We want you to depend less on your credit card. Because when you take money from the credit card company, you have to pay them back with interest. And I don't know if you know this, the credit card company has a high interest rate. So we do not want you to depend fully on the credit card. We want you to be at peace. We want you to be safe. And that is why we want you to save $1,000. And finally, it's a psychological win. Remember, I told you it's the lowest hanging fruit. It's so much easy for you to save $1,000. Again, you just got to start small. If it means saving $50 every week or $100 every week, it's okay. You don't have to get everything right now. Just little by little, week after week, month after month, you will get to that $1,000. Now let's talk about what's getting in the way. We know the goal is to save $1,000. Now, what is preventing some people from getting to that goal? What's hindering us from getting to that goal? What's getting in the way from actually saving $1,000? Number one is people living paycheck to paycheck. Remember, we saw in the beginning that more than 50% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. So because of this, there is no room for them to save that $1,000. They can't save $1,000 because there's so many things going on in their life. Number two is impulse spending. I remember I was listening to someone recently. She said at night when she can't sleep, she sees herself going to Amazon and just ordering stuff. after she's done ordering stuff, that's the only way she can go back to bed and have a good night's sleep. There are some persons when they're angry, they go to the mall and buy stuff. There are some persons when they're having a bad day, they go shopping. All of this impulse spending will actually prevent you from reaching your financial goal. All of this impulse spending will prevent you from reaching that saving of $1,000. Now, I understand you have to spend money, but if you allow your emotions control your spending, oh, you're a long way from being financially stable. You're a long way from being financially secure. You do not have to listen to your emotions. Just because you're craving something doesn't mean you have to buy that thing. If it's not a necessity, doesn't mean you have to buy it. There is an approach I use when I think of buying something. Maybe I see a new shoe or a new item or a new toy. I ask myself a question. Do I really need this? Do I really need this item? And what I do is I get a sheet of paper, I write that item on a piece of paper, and then 1 month later, I come back to that book and I'm like, do I still need this? If it is a necessity, then I go ahead and purchase it. If it's not a necessity, it was just a craving at that point, I realized, okay, I do not need this. So you should spend money on items that you need and not because of your emotion. Another reason why you're not getting to $1,000 goal is because you're lacking budgeting. And I'm so happy that we talked about budgeting. We talked about the different budgeting rules and budgeting approach. For some persons who are unable to budget properly, it may prevent them from hitting that goal. And I've said this before and I'm going to say it again. You should be looking at your bank statements. The last 3 months, the last 6 months, look at your credit card statement and see where you're throwing money at. See how you're spending your money. See where your money is going to. Is your money going to eating out? Is your money going to buying stuff that you don't need? Where is your money going? If you lack budgeting, you may not be able to get to that $1,000 goal. And also we have thinking it's too little to matter. Remember, I told you, you don't have to get the $1,000 goal by the end of the month. You just need to see what time frame works best for you. For some persons, it will take them 2 months to get to that $1,000 goal. For other persons, it will take them 3 months, some 6 months, some 12 months to get to that goal. So it doesn't matter how much money you're setting aside at the end of each week. It doesn't matter how much money you're setting aside by the end of the month. Don't think that, oh, $50 a week or $50 bi-weekly is too little. I don't think me saving $50 a week will help me achieve that goal. If you're thinking that, you're thinking too little, because at the end, little drops of water makes a mighty ocean. You just gotta be consistent with it. You just have to be consistent and keep setting aside that money little by little. And then finally, when you lack priorities and goals, you may not be able to get to that $1,000 goal. If you think eating out every day is better and that's priority for you, you will not be able to get to that $1,000 goal. If you think that impulse spending is better, you will not be able to get to the $1,000 goal. You just need to know what is important to you. You need to change your priorities. Staying out of debt should be your priority. Saving $1,000 should be your priority. Being financially stable should be your priority. So you need to understand and change your priorities. Now, the next question people will ask themselves, where do I start from? I know I have to build an emergency fund. I know the target is $1,000, but where do I start? What's the first thing I need to do? Number one, you need to change your mindset. You need to change your mindset from thinking I cannot save to a mindset of thinking, how can I save? Stop saying that you cannot save or you cannot do something. You need to start asking the right question. And the right question is, how can I do this? How can I get to this goal? How can I save $1,000? What's the schedule like? How long do I need to save? And how much do I need to be saving every week or bi-weekly or monthly to get to that goal? And you can start by paying yourself first. Remember, when your paycheck comes in, pay yourself first before paying other people. Pay yourself first before paying other companies. And how do you pay yourself? By saving. That's how to pay yourself first. Now, saving is not optional. It is a necessity. It is essential. Make saving non-negotiable. Immediately you get your paycheck, the first thing you should be thinking of is, how do I save certain percentage from my paycheck? How do I save before spending? Saving should be the first thing you think of when you get money. Think saving as buying your freedom. And you just have to start small and you have to be consistent with it. If you make only $1,000, if you can save 5% of that, good for you. If you can save 10% of that, good for you. You need to save. I understand that people are in different stages of their life. So if you can save $20 every month, do that. If you can save $50 every month, do that. You're way better than someone who is saving $0 every month. You're way better than that. And make sure you're treating saving like a bill that must be paid. The same way you have your student loan, the same way you have your credit card debt, make sure saving is like that. So while you're taking care of the rent, you're taking care of the light bill, you're taking care of the loans, you're taking care of other consumer debts, make sure you're saving as well. The best way to do this is to save first before spending. Now, I actually learned about saving from my mom. So growing up, my mom, she loves to save money. So when you give her money, she's saving it. And as a kid, I like to spend money. So I always go to my mom and say, hey, mom, I want chocolate. Hey, mom, I want biscuits. I want ice cream. And funny thing, my mom would just bring up money from her chest. I'm like, what are you? Are you Jesus? How is it possible you're bringing money out from your chest? You feed us from your chest and also you bring money from your chest. Oh my God, this must be a miracle. Hallelujah. I thought my mom was a second Jesus because she performed the miracle. Well, the truth is, my mom was saving money. She was saving money, so when it was time for an emergency, she always had access to that money. So when I was sick, she had access to the saved money. When I needed food, she had access to the saved money. There is a saying that if you save money today, money will save you tomorrow. Remember, you're saving money today for tomorrow, and your future self will thank you. Your future self will be grateful to you that you're saving money. Now, we've talked about having emergency funds. We've talked about the goal. And I understand some of you are like, okay, now Livingston, you don't understand my situation. I have lot and lot of expenses. How can I save $1,000 when I have lots and lots of expenses? Well, you're in the right place. We're going to show you how to cut down expenses. Number one, subscriptions. Oh, if you go to your credit card statement, you're going to see multiple monthly subscriptions that is going out of your bank, that is going out of your credit card, with you're not even using half of it. Remember the subscription you did in January 1st and you only use the item for maybe the first 2 months, yet every month you're still paying for that subscription? It's time for you to go cancel. Some of you subscribe to multiple streaming platforms. You subscribe to Netflix, you subscribe to Hulu, you subscribe to Amazon Prime, you subscribe to about 10 different streaming platforms, and you're only one person. You don't have the time to watch all of these movies. You gotta stick to a few. You don't need to subscribe to all of these streaming platforms. You just need to stick to a few. If you think and you believe that the best shows are in Netflix, then stick with Netflix. If you believe that the best shows are in Hulu, stick with Hulu. If you believe that the best movies are in Amazon Prime TV, then stick with that. I can guarantee you that there is no way you're gonna sit and watch movies from each of all the streaming platforms out there. There are so many streaming platforms out there, and you're just paying subscription every month to the streaming platform. You gotta cut some of them out. You have to cancel some of the subscription. And for some persons who want to find love, oh, I understand you've been single for a very long time and you've said it in your 2025 goal. This year, I must get married. This year, I must find my missing ribs. And this year, I must get a boyfriend or girlfriend. So to do that, you're paying premium to 10 different dating platforms and you're still single. You need to stop that. You need to cancel some of those subscriptions. You need to cancel some of those things. It's too much. Love will come to you. You don't have to pay premium to all of these dating apps. And for those of you who decided that in January that this year you're going to be in shape and then you subscribe for your gym membership, you went to the gym January, February, and March. What happened in April? And after April, you stopped going to the gym and you said, you know what? I'm done. Well, if you don't want to go to the gym, you better cancel that subscription. If you know you're not going to go to the gym, then you have to cancel the subscription. And for some persons, they tell themselves, I do not have time to cook. So I need to order my food. So you use Uber Eats every single day. Do you know there is a better way to actually navigate this? There are companies out there. You just need to pay them monthly, and every week they will deliver home cooked meal to your doorsteps every day. Some it's every day, some it's every week. So you don't need to go out every day to eat. Just subscribe to this platform and they will deliver home cooked meal to you. It is way cheaper than eating out every day. And for those of you who don't have the resources to eat out every day, why not just cook? Go to the grocery store, get the food, go home, cook, and eat. I understand some of you want to go out on dates. Do you know cooking at home is actually a good dating idea? You can invite your partner, come home, let's cook together. In as much as the person does the dishes when you're done cooking, it's a fun date idea. You can actually cut out so many expenses when you reduce the eating out and just stick with a meal plan or with meal prepping your food every week. For entertainment, I know life has its ups and downs. I know life is a lot, but sometimes you gotta set spending limits. You can tell yourself every month I'm going to spend $100 on entertainment, and this can be going out to see a show, going to the movies, doing something with your friends. You can say every month it's just $100. And when I get to the $100, I'm done for the month till next month. So you can actually set spending limits on your entertainment, and you can actually do things that are free. There's so many free stuff you can do with your friends that doesn't require you to spend a lot of money. Do you know you can actually do a picnic with your friends and you have a great time? You can go to the dog park with your pets and your friend's pets, and you guys can have a great time over there. Do you know you can go to the mall without buying anything at the mall? Oh my God, that's a brilliant idea. You can go to the mall without buying anything. You can do that. You don't have to spend money. You don't have to do a lot of activities that require you to spend money. There are so many free activities out there you can do. Next is clothes. A lot of people spend a lot of money buying clothes every month. And guess what? I am 100% sure that you do not use up to 50% of the clothes you own. You do not wear up to 50% of the clothes you own. Then why do you keep buying? I used to have a friend every summer and every winter she's going shopping for new clothes. So if it's summer 2025, she's getting new summer clothes for 2025. If it's winter 2025, she's getting new winter clothes for 2025. And I'm always fascinated by this ideology. And I always ask the question, what happened to the summer clothes of 2024? What happened to the winter clothes of 2024? Why do you have to buy new clothes every year? And some person will say, oh my God, Livingston, you don't understand. It's no longer trending. It's out of fashion. No one cares about what you're wearing. Nobody cares about what you're wearing. So why are you so concerned whether your clothes is in fashion or out of fashion? Go to your wardrobe and use the old clothes that you have. You need to stop buying new clothes anytime someone offends you. You need to stop buying new clothes every time you break up with your partner. You need to stop buying new clothes anytime you feel like, oh my God, I need new shoe. You need to stop doing that. And you have to stop the impulse shopping. And then finally, you have to learn how to shop smartly. Get a grocery list. Don't just go to the grocery store and buy whatever. Write down the things you want to buy and then go. Sometimes go with cash. And I think this is really important. When you want to go shopping, know how much you want to spend. If you're projecting to spend $50 or $100, go with $100 cash or go with $50 cash to the grocery store and buy stuff. When you get to the limit, when you exhaust all your money, that's it. Go home. Go home. Go home. You have to leave the grocery store and go home. But if you go with your credit card, you cannot resist. You just want to tap and tap and tap or swipe and swipe and swipe because you're not seeing it. Go with cash and go home immediately. And sometimes you can actually ask for a discount. When you go to a store and you see something, you can ask, excuse me, can I get a discount on this? Or is a promotion? Is there anything? If you don't ask, you will never know. And for those of you who are paying so high on certain insurance policy, like your car insurance, you need to shop around. Maybe it's time to switch from one insurance company to another insurance company. Maybe it's time for you to switch. Remember, there are multiple ways to cut down expenses. The first place to start from is to look at your statement. Look at your bank statement, look at your credit card statement, look at where your money is going to. And ask yourself, do I really need this? I promise you, if you take 3 to 6 months of your credit card statement, your bank statement, you will be surprised how you're spending money. You even think you're the richest man in America. Be like, oh my God, I'm spending so much money. You're spending money. And yet you're complaining you cannot save $1,000. Now, we've talked about how to cut down expenses. Now let's talk about how to increase the cash flow. You cannot just cut down expenses and not increase the cash flow. So how can we increase inflow of money while cutting down expenses? Number one, get a side hustle. There are so many ideas, so many opportunities to make money that you can do from the comfort of your home without going out. Number one, you can engage in the notary service. Now, I do not know if you're aware, but law firms, banks, organizations are actually looking for the services of notary. So you can go online, take the course, be certified, and then meet organizations, meet law firms, and then start using your services for them, and then they'll pay you for that. And then sometimes, I think if you're part of a notary society, they can actually send the clients to you. You don't have to go out. They will send the clients to you, you notarize the documents, and you get paid. Another side hustle you can do from the comfort of your home is online survey. Do you know that you can get paid for filling an online survey? Mind blowing. Yes. Yes. You can actually get paid for writing reviews on some websites. Yes. Yes. You can do all of this from the comfort of your home. You get paid for writing stuff online. So instead of going to Twitter or Instagram and writing stuff for free, you can actually get paid for writing stuff. Yeah. If you didn't know, now you know. You can also engage in some freelance activities and then you get paid for that. Then you can buy and sell. You can buy from Alibaba and sell on Amazon. You can buy from Alibaba and sell on Facebook Marketplace. Now, Alibaba is an online platform like Amazon and Walmart. They can actually get things at a very cheap price. Yes. Yes. Oh my God. You can get really, really cheap things from Alibaba and then sell them on Amazon websites. Let me tell you how to make money online. Go to Amazon, create an account on Amazon. Look for an item you want to sell on Amazon. You can go on Google, get a picture of it, or go to Alibaba, get a picture of it. Put the picture on Amazon and then share the link with your friends. Now, you can create accounts on Amazon for free. You can put the picture on Amazon for free. You're not spending any money. So when you get an order, someone clicks on the link, you get an order from Amazon, go to Alibaba, order the stuff from Alibaba and put the person's address. So you're not the one sending the item to the person. Alibaba will send the item to the person. And all of this you're doing without spending 1 cent. Oh my God, you can actually make money without spending anything. Yes, you can do that. You can make money without spending anything. Also, you can actually engage in service-based side hustle. You can do DoorDash, you can do Uber Eats, you can do delivery, you can do ride share, you can do bed sitting, you can do house sitting. There are people who are going on vacation and they need someone to just stay in the house. That's like free accommodation. You're just staying in the house while these folks go on vacation. That's free housing for you. And if you love pets, people will actually pay you to look over their pets. You mean I can stay with my favorite animal and then I get paid for walking the dog? Yes, yes, yes. If you love babies, do you know you can get paid for babysitting? Oh my God. Someone will pay me for looking after their baby? Yes. These are some of the ways to actually get more money. Now, how do I save $1,000 in 3 to 6 months? Number one, save it in a high heat savings account. You have to open a separate account. Your regular traditional bank gives you an APY, which is annual percentage yield of 0.01%. Yes, 0.01%. That's how much your traditional bank is giving you. However, with a high heat savings account, you can actually get from 3.5 to 4.5% APY. So we have Marcus, Discover, SoFi, Citibank, Wealthfront. These guys are out there. You do not need anything to open. Go to the website. You can start with Wealthfront. Go to Wealthfront, open an account and save there. And every year you get from 3.5 to 4.5 interest on the money you're saving. So why do you want to keep your money in the bank and be yielding 0.01% when you can do it in this high heat savings account and make interest? So your money will be sitting in a high heat savings account and making money on it. Number two, you have to set goals and timelines. If you want to save $1,000, set the timeline. How much do I need to be saving every week? How much do I need to be saving every month? And automate the transfer. Link your traditional bank to the high heat savings account and automate it. So every month, $250 is going to it. Every month, $150 is going to the high heat savings account. And you have to be consistent and make sure you're tracking your progress. When you hit your target of $1,000, then celebrate. Now, what's the step? What do I need to do? Today, first thing I want you to do is open a high heat savings account. That's one thing I want you to do today. Let's look at some of the examples of a high heat savings account. Number one, it's Wealthfront. Now, all of these percentage yield are the yield we got last month. So this yield keeps changing based on inflation. So as of last month, Wealthfront was given an annual yield of 4%. That is mind blowing. So SoFi is giving 3.8, Ali is giving 3.6, Marcus is giving 3.65, Discover is giving 3.5, Capital One is giving 3.5. So these are some of the high savings accounts you can check out. Now, an interesting thing about Wealthfront is that they actually give you a debit card and there is no maintenance fee. You can use your card and have access to your money anytime. So these are good places to check out if you want to open a high heat savings account. Now let's look at another example. Now let's say you put in $100 in a high heat savings account that has an APY of 4%. You put this money in January. By December, with a 4% interest, you're going to have $104.07 at the end of the year. However, if you leave this money in a traditional bank, you're still going to have $100 there and maybe 0.1 cents. Now, if you have a bank that charges you maintenance fee, the $100 you put in, taking note that you're not adding additional money to it. You put in $100 and that's it. At the end of the year, in December, if the bank charges maintenance fee, you're going to have less than $100 if it charges maintenance fee. However, with a high yield savings account, you're gonna get more than that. Now, this is with $100. Now, let's assume you put in $1,000 or $5,000 or $10,000. The more money you put in a high yield savings account, the more money you're going to get at the end of the year. Now we have some resources. Now we told you have to open a high yield savings account today, and then we have 1 year. So you can scan the QR code for Wealthfront, you can scan the QR code for Marcus and create an account today. Now this is something you need to know. If you use the code over there, you're going to have additional 0.5%. So in total, you're getting 4.5% interest when you open a high yield savings account today. Action step number 2, find 3 expenses to cut and redirect that money into savings today. So go and look at your bank statement, go and look at your credit card statement, and look at 3 expenses to cut today. And when you've succeeded in cutting down those expenses, redirect the money into your high yield savings account and start building towards the $1,000 goal. Now, what's one non-essential expenses you're going to cut this week? What's one non-essential expense you're going to cut out this week? What do you want to cut out? Are you going to cut out eating out? Are you going to cut out new shoes? Are you going to cut out new clothes? Are you going to cut out subscription? Are you going to cut out Netflix? Are you going to cut out date nights? What's one non-essential expense you're going to cut out this week? Alrighty. And then the final action step for today, we want you to make a commitment of saving $50 to $100 this week towards your $1,000 goal. Make sure if it's $50 you can afford, you're saving $50. If it's $100 you can afford, you're going to start today. We want you to start today. After you create the high savings account, make sure you start saving today. Do not wait till tomorrow. Do not wait till the end of the month. Make sure you start saving today. And then the last question we have is, what's one side hustle you consider? What's one side hustle you will consider? The financial influencer of the week is Jasmine Taylor at Baddies and Budget. Now, Jasmine focuses on cash stuff in budgeting, whereby she encourages people to use cash to get stuff. So when you're going grocery shopping, she encourages people to actually take cash to go to the grocery store. It helps you put a limit on your spending. Like I said before, when you've gotten to that limit, what do? You go home. Now, we always end with free resources. Now we have the $1,000 emergency fund tracker. You can scan the QR code and it will take you to the sheet. Remember, you have to download the Google Excel sheet on your phone. Download Google Excel sheets on your phone. Log in with your Gmail and password. And when you get to the Excel sheet, you have to download to use it. So when you scan the QR code, you're going to get here, you're going to come to this Excel spreadsheet. Now we have the date here, we have the amount you're putting in, and we have the total. So let's say today's date is September 9. So you just need to change the date to September 9. So we have September 9, 2025. And let's say today you're going to start with $50, and then the total will automatically change to $50. You do not have to edit this total. Now take note, I already put in the code, so you don't have to change the codes, you don't have to change the formula. All you need to change is the date and the amount. So you come in here, you change the date, and then you put in the amount. So you put in $50, and remember the goal is $1,000. So you put in $50 this month, and then next month, let's say next month you want to change it to something else. So next month, which is 10/09, you say, no, what, next month I want to do something better. So next month you say, I'm going to put in $100. All you need to do is just put in the amount. So next month you put in $100, and at the end you have $150. When you get to your $1,000 goal, then you can celebrate. So please download this Excel sheet, and then you can edit after you download. Okay, so you can scan the QR code. If you love to read books, the book we are recommending for this week is The Automatic Millionaire by David Bach. And if you like apps, remember, Everybody loves to play on the phone. Everybody loves apps. These are some of the high heat savings accounts you can open. We have Marcus, Rocket Money, Wealthfront, Discover, Ned, Wallet. Now, if you do not remember anything I've said today, three things you must remember. Number one, it is very important to save money. You save money today so money can save you tomorrow. Number two, we talked about the practical ways to cut down expenses. Cancel subscription, reduce eating out, stop buying new toys and new clothes. And we also talk about how to increase finances. You're going to do the DoorDash, the house sitting, pet sitting, selling on Amazon from Alibaba, and that's beautiful. And then finally, we showed you where to save your money. Stop saving money in a traditional bank, save your money in a high heat savings account. And we always end our class with a verse from the Bible. This honest money dwelleth away, but whosoever gathers money little by little makes it grow. And then we've come to the end of today's webinar. Next week, same place, we'll be talking about how to tackle your high interest debt, and we cannot wait for you to be here next week.
I feel like you dropped a lot of good gems today, so applause to you.
Awesome. Well, that's it from us. Remember, if you have personalized questions, you can always shoot an email to us and then we will answer you. Thank you so much, and I cannot wait to see you same place next week. Thank you.